This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
Good day, everybody. Now, today I was given some news about Sonic Ranger leaks, and I know you're all sick and tired about hearing about this, but this source actually might be a little bit accurate. I'm not saying, believe what you're about to hear right now, because I actually took notes for this. Yes, because some of this may be believable, some of it may not, but let's just speculate and go from there, okay? First of all, I want to say shout out to Dakiii, I believe that's the YouTuber's name, who got the source. I'll post a link to the YouTube video so you can watch it to see his take on everything, obviously. But I did take notes from that video just so I could gather my thoughts, and we'll go from there, okay? So let's start first. So for Sonic Rangers, apparently, according to one of the demo testers, the title screen is called Sonic Rangers and / working title. So they don't have a final product yet for the name, which is fine, which is understandable. They tend to change names on the 11th hour most of the time, so just so it doesn't leak, which is fine. So that's to be expected. Now the opening does have a panoramic view of the overworld with orchestral music playing, and it's orchestral music we haven't heard from. Now, this part I can believe, because I've been begging Sega to go back to orchestral music for the better part of a decade, since the days of Sonic Colors, but mostly since Sonic Unleashed. Now, if we're going to have orchestral music in Rangers, I'm on board with that. You know how I've advocated for orchestral music, especially if you watch the last video I posted last week with the Zelda thumbnail. I love orchestral music to death. So far, this is I'm not saying it's a possibility, but I'm hoping this is at least 100% confirmed, at least on the orchestral music, as a great starting point. Now, here's the thing. Now, the release date, will 2022 be a guaranteed? Well, if COVID or the Delta variant doesn't impact everything, it's a possibility the game could come out in 2022 of holiday season. It's a possibility. But if not, they could delay the game until spring of 2023, which is okay. Because for Sega, please delay your games for the love of God. Do not mess this up, please. If all of these facts here are true, because like I said, this source was not from 4chan, it's not from any bullshit site, it's not from Zippo, so that's why I took notes on this. I'm being serious here for a second. Alright, now let's talk about the game appearance. The graphics look amazing on a high-end PC, according to this tester. Now, that's to be expected. Obviously, the PC is going to be having beautiful graphics, obviously. And, of course, this game is going to come out for the Nintendo Switch. So, that game's going to be watered down. Because, again, the Switch OLED, you didn't get a graphical improvement. All you did was get a fancier screen. That's all you got. So, yeah. Now, here's the things where there could be some red flags. Now, take it all with a grain of salt. He said it has Sonic 2006 or Unleashed vibes, where Sonic doesn't fit into the environment, as some enemies look straight ripped out of Breath of the Wild. Now, you're probably seeing different enemy variants from Breath of the Wild. They look like maybe bootleg or knockoff enemies from that series, and they're brought into Sonic's world, obviously, as Eggman minions or things like that, similar to Unleashed. Now, you could say, this game took inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but I'm honestly going to think this game took a lot of elements from Sonic Unleashed, because Unleashed did that first, technically. Bringing in Dark Gaia enemies, this and that. The robots, obviously, from the daytime stages, they were already taken from Sonic 06. So that was already well established. So some of the enemies could look like Breath of the Wild-ish. Like, maybe you could see a knockoff Lionel enemy here or there, or a knockoff Rock enemy, which is basically off a Stone Talus. So other than that, if they're so we're not gonna see the traditional Batniks here and there, so I like that. It's time for a change of pace, and this seems legitimate. I can believe this one, okay? So a lot of these notes that I've taken, it doesn't seem far-fetched. I'm not saying it's going to be true, but just speculate for a second, okay? It could be. Now, here's another key factor. The combat is simple. It's complex, where you could spam the homing attack, and Sonic could do punches and finishers like Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna have a combat system where it might be fast-paced, because in Forces, yeah, Sonic did beat the crap out of Zavik in that one cutscene. However, you couldn't button mash there; it was just a scripted cutscene. But he could do things like that and do like a critical attack while he's in his regular form. Speaking of that, I also heard that Sonic has another form in this. Now, I don't think that's gonna be true. Maybe, I don't know. It's just wishful thinking right now. But other than that, it's really cool to think. You know, and this game has been in development since spring of 2017, so basically 4 years. So theoretically, there was no way you could get this game out this year, obviously because of COVID and everything, and they want to make sure they test everything, because remember, if this is going to be an open world game, you got to test everything, because you have vast surrounding areas, you don't want glitches to happen, the game could break, things like that. You know how it is. You know, that's why open world games, you know, they take forever to develop. They can take anywhere from 5 to 6 years. So you have to be willing to give Sega a free break here. Now here's the last key feature about the game is DLC. Now I know Sonic Unleashed did DLC in the past, but they're just a couple of levels here. They're just a couple of filler levels here and there. Increase the difficulty, add a few obstacles. Nothing out of the ordinary, but this is lengthy DLC, like something out of a season pass. And obviously Sonic has never really gone that route, but to cover the operating costs, if this is all true, like if you're getting a game with beautiful graphics, all these developmental hours thrown into it, you know, I can honestly I'm gonna be okay with paid DLC, and here's why. Developers have to find a way to, you know, to cut costs, you know, to pay for the operating costs of these games. And they have to do it with the season pass, so be it. I myself, as a, you know, in my games, I'm kind of against DLC, but at this point, I might make it a reality also, but at least it'll be lengthy DLC, not just added padding like, oh, throw an episode Shadow, give me my $5.99. No, I want to make sure that you're all getting your bang for your buck here. Well, if I had to make a decision like that, and that's all I have right now to this information. Now, the way that everything's looking right now, you're probably saying it, you know, it sounds legitimate. You know, it doesn't sound bullshit like other sources have stated. Now, this one, I can tend to believe it on some factors, not all of them. A lot of people can call red flags for certain aspects. That's fine, you know, that's your opinion, you're entitled to your opinion, but we're all here just guessing, like, is this real, is it not real? To me, half of it looks real, half of it, you know, it's just wishful thinking. Maybe it could be real, I don't know, but it's not far-fetched. All I can tell you is all these aspects could be legitimate. Now, the game could have been in development since spring of 2017. That is believable, without a doubt. But other than that, you know, and I can believe that the game will come out in 2022, provided if the COVID Delta variant doesn't hinder things. Other than that, I can see a 2023 release date, which is understandable. Now, the enemies layouts, that I'm gonna be perfectly honest, that I could buy. The reason for that is because Sega's done it before. They could just take assets from previous games like Sonic Unleashed and just, you know, give them a fresh, you know, coat of paint and make them into newer enemies. And that's it. Simple as that. I'm surprised Sega hasn't done this, you know, for a long time. And the Sonic model, I forgot to point this out. This is his best model since the Unleashed days. It's brand new. It's nothing out of Forces. Oh, speaking of Forces, the beta tester for this game, he straight up says he despises Forces. Like, I recommend you watch the link to the video to get the full length of Dakii's video. It's really like the beta tester goes in like he hates Forces. You know, the game doesn't control like Forces. The game controls pretty fluid. It controls great. You know, maybe the best since maybe Sonic Adventure 1. We don't know. So, you know, but again, anybody can just make this stuff up. Look, at the end of the day, this looks believable. I'm not saying it is. Just take it with a grain of salt. Give me your thoughts, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.